Hillel, I'd like to ask a question around business operations versus security. And we walk this fine line where in the cybersecurity world, we're trying to secure apps, we're trying to secure our environments, we're trying to educate our employees, but we still need to make money, right? The business still needs to run. And I'm curious, if you have any recommendations or thoughts or insights on how to make that work cohesively instead of a battle every day.
Yeah, it's I think not only a great question, it's the great question. I think uh, number one is as someone developing security products often, I think it's the number one question to ask yourself, right? When you're building a security product is, am I building something that gets in the way or am I building something that lets people create value? Okay. And that's not easy, right? There are plenty of places in the world where when you build something, it helps people create value. If you build a really cool IDE for developers, you understand how you're creating value. You're giving them syntax highlighting or something, or you're allowing them to compile faster or whatever, right? When you build a security tool, the obvious thing is, well, I'm going to get in the way, I'm going to make things harder, et cetera, right? And that's difficult to overcome. But I think you have to always ask yourself, okay, am I minimizing the friction? Am I trying to be aligned with the business? And the same is true if you're the security guy, if you're the CISO in a company, if you find yourself misaligned with the business, maybe 10, 15 years ago, you can win. You can say, well, security is more important than functionality. We'll develop slower. We'll have 2-month code reviews. That doesn't exist anymore. We are in an environment where our competitors are all moving really quickly. And if we're not moving just as quickly or faster, then we're going to fall behind and lose. And so nobody in security gets to say, well, we're not going to use that language anymore, or we're not going to use that technology anymore, or we're not going to use that process anymore. At the same time, I think it's really important to focus on what we call paved roads versus guardrails. Guardrails are really important. They are there. They need to be there. Uh, they should be there to prevent developers from doing things that are really malicious or not malicious, but pernicious and bad, and will really open you up to attack. And that's important. And you need to run WAFs, and you need to run security scanning tools in your CIC. All that stuff is really important. Those are guardrails. They are much less valuable, in my opinion, than paved roads. Paved roads are where you figure out what someone needs to do. Say, let's say, in deploying an Amazon account or deploying a Kubernetes cluster or something. It's okay. This is something my developers need to do on a regular basis. I have a particular view of what secure is in that space. I have a particular view of what a secure Amazon account is, or a particular view of what a secure cluster is, or a particular view of what a secure pipeline is. How can I make the easiest thing for my DevOps engineer or my developer to do be that secure thing, right? And if you focus on that, it's not that no one can go around and screw up, and therefore you do need those guardrails. But what you find is 95% of the time, if the easiest thing to do is relatively secure, I'm going to take it. I mean, as a developer, I'm like water. I'm trying to minimize energy. I'm trying to solve the things I care about and not worry about the things I don't care about, right? And if security gets in my way, then I'm going to bypass it. But if security is, if rational, sane security choices are kind of there for me in the simplest way I can deploy an account or deploy a project or create a service, then why the heck not? I'll use them, right? And I'll take them. So I think that, and again, this mindset can be deployed wherever you're building security products. If you try to think about sort of 80% paved roads, 20% guardrails, I think you'll do much better than the opposite. You'll really be able to figure out how to mostly get people moving where you want them to move and spend as little energy as possible, but some energy on making sure that if they really drift off the path to somewhere dangerous, you're there to detect it or stop it, right? So I think maybe that's, to me, again, you can't always do it. And I know that there are some parts of security where it's just be the bad guy, and sometimes it happens. So I don't want to sort of, say everybody can just be, rainbows and unicorns. But I do think there are rainbows and unicorns to be had even in the security space if you focus on something like that.